Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope your week's off to a good start. I did a video a few weeks ago talking about staying raw vegan in the winter, and I just wanted to kind of touch on this subject a little bit more, possibly from a little bit different angle this time. So, you know, as the title says, like, is it raw vegan or cooked vegan during the winter? And you know, I see people already starting to talk about this, and I see people already starting to spin a bunch of ideas. I see people starting to already stress over eating raw in the wintertime. And I don't think it has to be so black and white. I don't think it has to be either or. Now, before I start, like, really get into this video talking much anymore, I always want to make it clear I'm not trying to talk anybody out of being raw vegan. I'm raw vegan, mostly raw vegan. I do feel like my body works best on raw vegan. It's just that I'm not obsessed about it. I mean, I get in situations, or when I'm in the States, maybe it's even just laziness. I don't have a problem saying that, but I'm not going to obsess over eating a sweet potato or some steamed vegetables when I want them. I mean, that's just like when you start obsessing over that, then you do I do understand how the outside world views our lifestyles. Like, yeah, you're getting a little bit. Now, also too, and I'm going to put this as a disclaimer. I understand. You've told me a million times. I've heard it on social media. I've even had comments here. And I know somebody probably won't even pay attention to this and they'll write it down. I know there's certain people out there that, because of health issues, they seem to need to eat the raw. I say seem to just because I'm not questioning them. I just don't know that much about healing particular things. In fact, I do tend to lean that way. That there are a lot of health issues and disorders out there that I believe probably they're more easily healed, or you get more healing to the body from those conditions from staying to the raw. But for people that are just normal, fairly healthy people like myself, like other people that didn't come into this with a whole bunch of issues or you know, health problems, I just think, you know, it's not something you need to sit around and obsess over. And it's also not something where you need to just like commit and go all one way or all the other, black and white. You know, I see these videos and they're very helpful. And, you know, like I say, if that's something, I just kind of, what I try to do when I talk about these videos, I'm not knocking what anybody else does, but I'm trying to get into a little bit of reality. And I try to think like, okay, this might be an ideal. Even you might like, okay, let's don't argue whether one's better than the other. But let's just say, what is reality? You know, what percentage of people are more likely to stick to the, you know, to a little bit more extreme version? Maybe they'll get led to that. But I don't know. I always want to make sure that people that watch my videos, that watch my channel, know that I'm an inclusive person and know that I talk about both, and know that I'm not even really sitting here like with some kind of, oh God, how many people can I convert to raw veganism, you know, today? You know, that's for you to decide. There's a lot of facts, there's a lot of stuff out there, but like I said, I just don't see all the obsessing, you know, over if you end up eating a piece of cooked food. What is it exactly? I wish some of these, like, you know, raw is law people would actually tell you. So, okay, what is the difference on that fine line? What is the health benefits? What is this person going to gain? What is this person going to gain that's the purest of the pure, raw is law, over somebody that's eating extremely clean, high-carb lifestyle, but they eat cooked in theirs? So what are you telling me? What are you telling me? Is the raw person, are they going to levitate eventually? Are they going to ascend? Are they going to live to be 135? What is that great, huge advantage that they're going to have over that person that's eating a very clean, but cooked, high-carb vegan lifestyle? Okay, let's split the difference there. Let's don't make it where you have to go. You know, I think sometimes, and I see this, you know, Raw 4 isn't that old, so I mean, it's kind of, you know, I think it's evolved, it changes. I don't really follow any Raw 4 groups, but, you know, when Raw 4 was just coming up, it almost seemed like there was this big divide immediately, like between the raw people who are going to eat all raw, all the time. And then there were the raw to 4 people that were just almost kind of like, I'm going to eat raw all day, and then at 4 I'm going to cook my brains out and eat as much, cooked, or everything cooked. I kind of saw that. Like I've seen videos from people that do raw to 4, and that's kind of what I see. I see them like, they'll eat their fruit. They'll eat very similar to I eat throughout the day, and then they'll cook at night. But here's the thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just leading up to what I'm going to say is some middle ground there. Here's the thing: most of those raw to 4 people that I've watched, or that I've watched the videos at night, everything's cooked. Maybe it's some rice, maybe it's some beans, and then vegetables added, and this, or maybe it's a cooked dish. Whether it's vegan tacos or vegan whatever, but it's almost always all cooked. Or a lot of the people I'm watching, I don't know, I can't say 100% that they don't have a little salad over there, but now what I'm thinking is, and especially in wintertime, do you have to stress like so hard over if it's got to be raw, or do you have to feel like you're giving up and eating like this big cooked meal? Why can't you do something as simple as like, okay, for instance, like I eat my fruit during the day, and when I'm here at night, I'll eat either salad, or I'll make myself some sort of a mock pasta, or I'll make myself a green soup sometime. Okay, let's go with salad or soup. Let's say I'm making a salad. Let's say I'm in the States or somewhere cold, or you are, and I make a big salad like I normally do, like a raw vegan normally does. I make myself a big salad. That's going to be the bulk of my dinner, but I'm cold. I'm up north, or I'm just, for whatever reason, I feel like I want something warm to eat tonight. I could steam one big steamed potato with that. And that is kind of, you're not eating, it's not, come on now, listen, like you're going to make me think you're batshit crazy if you're trying to tell me a steamed potato is going to damage your health. You're not eating that much. What are you eating, 100, 150 calories of cooked food? And then you're eating mostly what us raw vegans eat most of the time for dinner anyway. You're eating the same big salad. It's just kind of psychologically or emotionally comforting because now you have that hot in there. There are, like I say, there's a lot of tricks out there. You can do stuff like sometimes people like to do the Vitamix thing of warming just a certain temperature, or a little bit, so it doesn't go above the magic temperature. What's the magic temperature, raw vegan purist? Is it 115 or 118? But you can warm stuff in your Vitamix. You can add hot water to things. To me, I know myself. Like I say, not knocking what anybody else does. That's another important thing in this lifestyle, is knowing yourself. I'm lazy. I tell you guys that. I've admitted that ever since I started this channel. I'm lazy. I'm probably not going to do those little tricks. And if I do want hot, I want hot. I don't, it's kind of like, for me, when I go back to the States and I eat something, like I said, I just do what I want to, and I just don't feel like I'm doing a lot of damage to myself. I don't necessarily need it. It's not like I'm eating it so much to warm myself up. But yeah, I mean, that's always where I would go. I just couldn't see myself doing that, even if I had a Vitamix. That's just not me. I'm always gonna. But that's sort of what I'm getting at, is like maybe that's sort of a compromise. But it's not a compromise to the people that are doing it just for the label, just because but that makes a little bit of logic, Jack. But I'm not fully raw if I have a potato a couple of nights a week with my big salad or my soup. Well, I can't help you there. If that's what, and hey, I'm not going to knock you either. If psychologically you feel that you have to be that raw vegan, stick to raw vegan all the time, then that's what you need to do, because then, then eating a sweet potato or eating rice or eating whatever that's warm or cooked is falling off to you, and psychologically then you're going to feel that guilt. So just don't stress to get through the winter. I'm going to end with that. Just don't stress to get through the winter. Do what you need to do to get through the winter, but just don't be so obsessive about it. It's got to be raw. Yes, it can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying it's not good to do it. If you have a plan and you want to do it, like I say, I don't want to talk you out of that whatsoever. What I'm just trying to do is to have a little safety valve for the people that are, I know there's people like that out there that they're trying to do it with people that are, filling their heads with, oh yes, of course you can stay raw during the winter. Some people aren't solid. Some people stress doing that, and I don't want to see people stressing over what they're eating to get through the winter. So, you know, give yourself permission. Don't, unless you have some condition that you're trying to heal, and eating that little bit of cooked food is really going to give you a flare up on that. If you're a normal, I'm talking to the normal healthy people out there, don't stress to get through the winter. Throw yourself, have yourself steamed sweet potato with dinner. Have yourself some steamed vegetables with dinner. And I'm just even telling you the minimum there. If you eat a fully cooked meal, I mean, even if you're eating good, clean, cooked vegan food at night, you're not using oil, you're not using salt, it's not high, it's not a high fat meal. So what? You're living healthy, and there's some, that's what we're all about here, is living healthy and eating a good high carb vegan lifestyle. Cooked, raw, fresh, healthy. It's all good. Anyhow, I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.